Welcome back, everyone. In this tutorial, we're going to build on top of our cartridge development knowledge and move into part 3. So in part 2, we talked about adding a recipe, which means we've loaded some ammo, but we haven't shot the ammo yet. In part 3, which is this one, we're going to talk about actually adding performance information and marking those cartridges as shot or used. So as a result, we're going to have a lot of relationships established. And before we move on, I want to jump into cases module and quickly have a look at a case which we're using in this recipe. This case is not fired in anything. We can see that there's actually 10 cartridges loaded right now, meaning there's powder and bullets in it and we can't use them. And it's been fired once because it's a mixed batch and it's once fired brass. But other than that, we're good. So we'll go back to our cartridge development recipe and we'll pretend that we've been to a shooting range and we've shot this ammo. So first thing first, we need to define which firearm we've shot this ammo in. And when we're defining the recipe, this field can be blank. However, when we're using it, we do need to fill this in. And what this will do is activate dynamic case management in the cases module. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add a date. Say we've shot this. We need to select the firearm, which we've done, and we can add performance information. So we'll say something like our best group was 50 mil. We were 50 meters from the target. Velocities, will use extremes again just to show you what the software can do. So we can add average, or we can select units and add individual velocities, and this will compute all the statistics for us. And in the future, we'll probably have charts and chronograph imports, but for now, this is what we have. Likewise with groups, and we're going to say, well, we've shot 2 groups of 4 cartridges and in a particular direction. Sight adjustment means if we have a scope and it's zeroed for something or something else, and we've changed the 0, this is the foundations of a dope card, which we'll have in the future as well, of how to come back to the 0 or how to how to 0 for this recipe from a known scope setting. And of course, we can define all the weather nodes and upload target images. So at this point, we can save, but one thing I want to talk about is this total cartridges loaded and how much we've shot. So we can say, well, we've shot 2 groups of 4, that's 8 cartridges, which means 8 out of 10 cases will be freed up and we'll have 2 used cases. We can delete this and the software will fall back to this number saying, okay, well, we've shot 10 and we have 10 free cases now, or we can add our groups. So we'll say 2 by 5, that's same as 10. And we will save. We went a little bit over, got a little bit too excited with our velocities, so we'll fix that. And here we go. From this, we'll see that first of all, we'll look at our firearm. So if we go to rifles and we'll look at Henry, we'll immediately see that it now has 10 rounds or count against its barrel. And if we go into cases, we'll see that total use is now 0 because we've shot all the ammo. We no longer have any used up cases. Cases have been fired twice from initial fired state of 1 because it was mixed batch and we've added 1. And if we need to change this number, we can offset it using this set times fired offset, and it will become important in the next tutorial when we talk about letter testing, because there are some limitations of the software. But for now, we have this relationship established, we have case tracking enabled, and our recipe has been used. If we look at our loaded ammo, we'll also see that we've loaded 10 cartridges, we've used 10, and we don't have any right now. Back to recipe, we can, like always, print a box label, and we can print a full report that includes information on all components from all the modules. Likewise, we can look at our case snapshot, and this is a copy of case module data, but this particular copy will not change. So it is a captured state of this cartridge at the time of firing, and it's saved with the recipe. So while case may change, times fired, annealing, trimming, whatnot, this instance will not. And I think that's about it for adding performance data. Next tutorial, we'll talk about letter testing and the difference between deleting and archiving a recipe.